What's up, After Buzzers? Welcome to Will and Grace, Season 9, Episode 10, The Wedding. Oh my goodness, so much going on. We go to Will's ex's wedding, and Jack has a hookup. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's perfect.
It's wedding, but it sounds like funeral music.
I know.
For
Will, it was a funeral.
Right.
It totally
and I'm not
was.
getting married, so.
What's up, After Buzzers? Welcome back. We are here tonight to talk about Will going to his ex's wedding. I am your host, Cristal McLaughlin. You can find me at all social media at Cristal823. And our host, Timothy Michael, could not make it tonight because he is at his bachelor party. How appropriate.
Congrats.
So I will go ahead and I will let my other lovely hosts go ahead and mention their social media.
Thanks, gorgeous.
Thank
Hello,
you.
I'm Louiza Sharamatyan. So happy to be on the Will and Grace panel tonight. You can find me on Instagram at Nobody Reads Anymore TV and on Twitter at Nobody Reads.
Hey guys, what's up? It's like a girls' night here.
I know,
Returning
yeah.
up. We miss you, Tim. My name is Nakia Money, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom. Simple, same name.
Woo!
Everywhere.
So you guys ready for tonight?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is such a great episode,
was.
right?
It was.
Super
So-
funny. I think we have a lot to talk about because
Mm-hmm.
as ladies, I feel like we're always sort of in this position of we hear about an ex getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we start off the episode with Vince coming in for dinner at
Yeah.
Will's apartment. And basically, he's inviting him to his wedding, but he doesn't know that at the time. Can you imagine that happening?
I'm
Such a
dying.
no-no. Like, I would never go to an ex's
I was
wedding.
gonna ask.
I don't understand that. No.
What if an ex, you guys have been broken up for a few years, you guys are on good terms, your ex moves on, and they invite you to a wedding, a baby shower,
no.
something like that? Would you go?
That's not me. I'm not going. Nope.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I know Jack had said something about gays have sex and then they lead to a date.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not so much like that in the straight world,
No.
right? Once you have sex with somebody, they've kind of lost their they're like little mojo for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Has that ever happened to you ladies?
Do you want to answer that?
Well, I'm not speaking for myself, but I will.
A friend?
I'm speaking for all the ladies out
Okay.
there.
Right.
I will say, generally for women, because when we do have sex, we do give off that pheromone,
Right.
where a lot of men do not understand that. So sometimes with women, we can become a little open, as people would say in these streets, when we're having sex, and especially when you're in love with someone, or especially when you like someone a lot, where you may hook up with that person, and you might want to see them again, and that person may just wanted it to be a hookup, and you fall a little deep because of that
Yeah,
pheromone. But
and
it
then-
happens to the best of us.
And then,
Not me.
like, you might be attached, but then that's all about communication. You have
Yes.
to talk to your partner and say, hey, is this going to lead to somewhere? Or are we just going to be, friends with benefits? And I think that's what Jack was saying, how gay couples start off with sex and maybe see if they might have a future. But, couples who, heterosexual couples, they first date and then they have sex. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
What do you think that is?
That was my favorite quote, though.
know.
I
Well,
love that.
They usually say, like, I went to an all-women's college. I
Yeah.
went to school with a lot of lesbians, and they always said, like, lesbians dating. The second week, they're moving in with each other.
Yeah.
And it's a joke within, like, my friends, so I feel like I'm okay to say that joke. I hope I don't offend anybody. I don't know. And you know what's another thing me and my gay friends were talking about? And they mentioned it in the show, like, with straight people, sometimes when we break up, some of us are not friends with our ex, but with gay people, they're still friends with their exes, and I always wanted to know about that.
That's true. Like my gay best friend is totally friends with his ex.
Yes.
They're still in the same circle, and it's very common for them just to meet people and maybe just hook up with no strings attached.
Gay men live the best life.
They do. With women, I feel like you might need some kind of
do.
mental stimulation
Yes,
to have sex.
yes.
It doesn't matter if you're going to date them or not, but
Yeah.
just something.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Have either one of you ever been continued to be friends with your exes? And if so, like, how did it turn out? Does it like happen for a little while, or is it something that's long term? Or
Little while. Mine was like a few weeks of texting, like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, you're okay, bye. And eventually I just stopped responding because, no, why would I want that, communication back and forth?
I will say, with my personality and who I am, I'm literally friends with every single one of my exes. That's just how I am, my vibe. Like, my relationships never really ended bad. And when it did end, we would take some time apart, but I'm still friends with all of them. I'm actually really good friends with someone, and I was speaking to them earlier. It's a little weird, though, sometimes, especially when you have, like, really deep feelings for them. And it does take you time. Like, there's one ex I couldn't talk to for 2 years because I had to get over that. And now I'm cool. We're great friends. I can speak. We can speak about dating other people. But it took me like a year or two for me to be like, bruh, I can't talk
Well,
to
just
you.
like Will. So it's been taking Will a long time to kind of even get over Vince. So it was even hard for him to go to the wedding, as we saw.
Absolutely. And that's why Grace didn't want him to go to the wedding. But of course he does. And
doesn't listen.
He makes a scene. He's so annoying.
Huge
It's like
scene.
I couldn't watch it. It's like take the goddamn picture. Why do you have to take the dressing off of the table?
Yes.
You're annoying.
He's a
Well,
diva.
unless he's like
he's a nitpicker for
unless
sure.
he's a creative director like
That
me in
turned
my
me
head.
off. It turned me off, Will. Do not do that.
Well, sometimes with me, when I'm taking photos, I like to be a fake creative art director, and I'm like, guys, let's move this. Let's move
We
this.
all
Let's
do,
move it.
but, like-
But Will is just a natural
Set
picker.
dressings.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's move this off the table. I don't like the way this looks. Let's make
Yeah.
everything clean. But Will is just Will.
He's just too much. So now moving on, we see that Jack ends up hooking up with another person there at the wedding who is a cop, right?
A
Yes.
straight cop.
A straight cop.
Straight cop.
Now, have you ladies ever gone to a wedding and hooked up with anybody? God, I am really giving it to you, ladies.
Not yet, but no. That's always been kind of like bucket list.
It's like wedding
ish.
crashers, right?
I'm thinking, have I? No. I've been at a wedding where someone was there who I had already hooked up with or made out with.
Nice.
I've been to that wedding, but I've never hooked up with anybody.
Or have you ever met? No, I haven't.
That's
I
a
actually haven't. And I guess the thing is, you know, have you ever like met? Because you hear about all these stories, right, where people like hook up at weddings or even just meet somebody, right? I've never had that happen. Have any of you?
It's a goal of mine after Wedding Crashers came out. I think all, especially single women and single men, I think that because people say like the best places to meet other singles is at a wedding.
BS. It doesn't work. Here's the thing. When we go to a wedding as women, especially if you're single, you know, we all feel lovey-dovey that night, getting ready, and then, oh, you know, you wish someone's going to ask you to slow dance and stuff. It does not happen, but I have friends who have met.
Oh, we're ladies.
You know,
Well, you know, Jack ends up hooking up with this guy, and we find out he is, in fact, married. He gets introduced to the wife, and then the wife wants them to go off and, like, hang out
weekend
together.
boys trip.
So, like, then he ends up pretending that Karen is his wife, and Karen, of course, doesn't play along because she's
Hilarious.
Karen. Have you ever done anything like that?
No, but I will say, actually, yes, I have. But I love the part where he wanted to distinguish who was gay or who was straight.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's your favorite show? And they're like, The Wire. And he says, the little one's like, This Is Us. And he's like, perfect, we can hook up. I love that
I mean,
show.
it was also kind of sad that a husband's living a second life. Like, if you don't feel fully committed to your wife, if you know deep down you're gay, get a divorce, live your truth.
Yeah. Ooh, that brings up another great question. Have you
Yeah.
ever dated anybody who ended up being gay?
No, but I had a friend who went through that. She dated someone, it was like her high school sweetheart, and they broke up, and then he came out to her, and now they're best friends, like Will and
that's
Grace,
cool.
but it's just so weird because they've slept together
Yeah.
before. But I haven't, but have you?
I think I have pretty great gaydar. The gays, I'm the
Gaydar.
people, and I'm the gays people. So I feel like I've been pretty good. But I did find out that, like, one of my first boyfriends from, like, 7th grade, he's now gay.
Wow.
Like, but he has like 50 kids, so I
so-
guess he just got bored. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't
wow.
know. But I learned
Yeah.
that. But as I got older, I never dated anyone who came out. But I do have a lot of gay male friends, and they're the type of friends who will like let me look at like their dating pages and Grindr, so I can see the type of guys they're talking to, and they're like, I want you to be careful because these are the guys. I'm like, thank you so much
that's
for
so
putting me
funny.
on, so that way I'm
Yeah,
not trying
yeah,
to like
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
because a lot of these guys on the sites are married with kids. And
Absolutely. I
have
have
girlfriends.
gay friends as well who tell me about this.
Damn.
And I have dated
You've had
somebody who totally denies it to this day, but totally know that he was like hooking up with other people. shady. You
We're
know,
calling
you can't
you
help who
out.
you love, but at the
You
same time,
can't.
cheating is still cheating.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. So anyways, Jack's hookup ends up telling him he loves him. Have you ever had anybody tell you that they love you when you barely know them, or you just hooked up with them that one time?
Maybe. I want to say 90%.
You did it, didn't you?
I think it's common for women.
I mean,
If it's
No
good,
judgment,
it's good.
no
They
judgment.
just get
listen,
hooked.
hey, not to my own horn. No, I'm kidding. It just reminds me of the whole stereotype where they say like when you're a virgin and you kind of get hooked onto the other person. But I've definitely been in that situation. Not me. I've never after sex told anybody I love them. Maybe during, but
Yeah,
another
because
joke, I'm
during it's
kidding.
like different kind of vitamins being released.
Exactly,
Or
you
like
can't
endorphins.
help it. But after
You just-
I think I've definitely,
Yeah.
especially
You say stuff you don't mean. Have you, Crystal?
said something you didn't mean
I mean, not after a hookup.
during.
Mom, I hope you're not watching this.
Right?
know,
She
right?
is. She's probably
My
watching
mom
this.
always watches.
I know mine does too. But you know, I have fallen in love with, like, I believe in love at first sight. I've had
too.
that happen before, and you know, you can't help how you feel. I wonder where that comes from because I didn't believe it until it actually happened, and it's only happened once. But yeah, like you can't really control that emotion. You're a human being, and it's overwhelming, and it's something you can't explain until you've actually had it happen to you. So
I love that. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I didn't think love at first sight was a thing, but I believe it though. I think.
No, I think it's there.
Yeah, I think it really is there. It hasn't happened
Yeah.
for me. I believe in lust at first sight.
yes, oh, definitely. I think everybody's done that. I mean,
Jack
we live
does
in
it all the-
Hollywood, right?
Jack does it all the time.
He does.
Exactly.
I love Jack. He's so funny. So anyways, so Jack, when he realizes that he's married, he ends up having Karen try to, you know, save him. That doesn't end up happening. And then somehow later on, he ends up hooking up with him again at the very end.
So little.
He's so
Yeah.
so little.
We call those a little teeny pocket.
Did you guys think that he was going to hook up with him again? Because I really didn't think so.
I didn't think so because he was getting super attached to him, and I thought he wanted to like separate from him. But Jack will be Jack.
Jack will
and
be
Jack's
Jack.
gonna get some free. You know.
Yeah.
Why not? But I did not think they were gonna hook up.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. No.
I didn't either. It was kind of funny, but I was like, really? I thought it was a little lame.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you, because he wasn't really into him, and I thought like Jack would have lightly higher standards after he had that whole discussion with him about like telling him not to love him.
Right.
Right.
Like that scene, if it would have happened in the middle when they first initially hooked up, I would have got
Yeah.
it. But at the end, it was a little like they just
Overly
threw it
done.
in there,
Yeah.
like a little funny.
I feel like it would have been funnier had it been the guy that he hooked up with. Do we know his name? I can't remember his name.
Drew.
Drew. If Drew would have hooked up with some woman
Yes.
at the end,
And,
right,
like,
in
Jack
the
or
bathroom.
someone seen it.
Yeah, right. Wouldn't that be funnier?
Yeah.
Because obviously he's sort of,
Yeah.
you know, going back and forth, and he doesn't really know what it is that he wants, right?
Exactly.
So
I don't
yeah.
know, this is such a random story, but from New York City, and of course, Pride is huge in New York. And me and my friends, we went to this Pride party where it was like at this big warehouse. So on one floor it was all men, second floor was all women, and it was like really good-looking guys. I come out the party and this guy, he doesn't know that I literally was in the same party as him because I seen him. Then I seen him making out with a guy. Me and my friends are walking to her car and he's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you. Like, I would love to take you out to dinner." And I'm like, saying to myself, "Sir, we were just in the same
Yeah.
party." So I let him talk for a little bit, and I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where are you coming from?" He's like, "Oh, just some little event." I'm like, "Yeah, I just seen you at this gay party." And then he was forced to tell me, like, he's like, "Well, I do go both ways. I like men and women." I'm like, "You should have been honest from jump." But I thought that was very interesting. I was like, "Wait, should I go on a date with him?" I did.
Oh my God, you did knowing that?
Yeah, I just went to dinner.
How was it?
It's free food.
I'm guilty of that too.
I mean,
so guilty.
because you know, I
like
mean,
eating the pasta.
this is the
like-
discussion that I think all women have. Like, would we
Yes.
ever date a man who
Yes.
says, "I've hooked up with a guy"? Would you ever date a man who's bisexual? And at first, I was like, I would never date a guy who said that he went both ways. But I was like, but you know what? Let me find out. Let me ask some questions. And I went on a dinner date, and it was interesting. It was fun, and I got free dinner, free drinks, and it
There
was
you
great.
go.
But
And
you
I met
couldn't
some-
look at him
No,
more
I
than
couldn't because
just a friend then, right?
I couldn't. Not just I just couldn't. I couldn't date him because
Yeah.
to me, like I just seen you making out with a guy. So
Yeah.
to me, that's all I'm gonna think about.
Also, as a woman,
Yeah.
you kind of want your man to only be obsessed with you,
Yes.
not to crave a man. You know,
Yeah.
that just.
And I just feel like we have no competition with men, and I'm not competing
Exactly.
with a guy.
Yes. It's already enough with women, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
I feel the same way.
So I tried it. I'm very open. I did try it. I was in my
Yeah.
early 20s, so
Oh, wow.
that was fun.
Did he
It was
end up
interesting.
calling you back though?
He did, and I was like, "This isn't gonna work." Thank you so much. Thanks.
But you know what? That's actually kind of cute that he called you back.
Yeah.
You obviously left a great impression
Yeah,
on
it was
him.
super sweet, really cool day. We just went to dinner and we had a good time. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's great. That's
so
great.
the gays are my people. Gays are my people.
So moving on, we've got Vince confessing to Will that he didn't like him, right? That he thought that Will didn't really care for him because he was such a nitpicker. Have you ever been someone who was the nitpicker or the receiver?
I've been the receiver of someone nitpicking in a relationship, and it's annoying. I have a very independent spirit. Let's go #Sagittarius, and we're very independent. We're just independent spirits. I don't know. We don't mean to be, but we're just really independent. So my pet peeve is someone who's a nitpicker, someone who bothers me, someone who questions me. And I feel like if you didn't give birth to me, or you didn't help in the process of making me, you should not question me.
That's powerful.
So I've been in relationships where I've been bothered. And it annoys me.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I've been picked on. I'm not a nitpicker though. I let you do you. Do you, boo? Do you?
What
I
about
don't
you?
even let it get that far. If I feel like someone's like that, even through the texting stages, I don't even. I block. I see them like from afar, like I have that visual, like that wisdom.
Yeah.
I can already
The
vision
vibe.
how they're gonna be, so I just stop it. You know,
Yeah.
even like questions like, "What are you doing? Where are you at?" Or like, "Dude, no. This is 2018. We are independent, modern women. Like, do not pull that."
I feel like I've been on both ends.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you know, and I have come to realize as I've gotten older is if I'm nitpicking, it's just that I'm not that into them, right?
So true.
That's
If
what
you're
it
gonna
is.
nitpick, then you honestly you want to validate for yourself that you know what, I shouldn't go on this date because this is this. But we all know, ladies, if
Yeah.
we're feeling someone, we're feeling someone. The first 5 minutes, women know. Guys
Exactly.
out there, if we're out there with you on a date, the first 5 minutes we know if we're into you or not. You know, and it takes a lot of hard work and I think confidence for a woman to tell the man yes or no after that first date.
Absolutely.
Don't string them along.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
absolutely.
sad.
Cut ties.
Cut it down.
You know, and here's the thing, you know, it's like, I don't know about you ladies, but I definitely can't stand when a guy has like poor like manners or, you know,
Well, doesn't open the door.
doesn't the way they eat.
Give me
and
flowers.
They eat and they talk. I can't. So those are the like I have my certain red flags, and if they
Right.
don't have or they do those certain things, I'm probably not going to go on another date
Yeah,
with you.
it's like it's a wrap. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And you don't want to waste their time or your
Absolutely.
time. So I always believe, like you were saying earlier, like communication
yes.
is key, and
Oh,
don't string
yeah.
them along.
Absolutely.
Because if you do, that's why you end up on Snapped and people get stabbed and
Yes.
killed because
Oh my
people are stringing
God.
people along.
Absolutely. Isn't that
Amen.
crazy? So anyway, so Will makes a toast, right? He
Best
makes a
toast
toast.
ever.
And
Glad he
he's
did that.
self-deprecating, right? And of course, Grace comes to the rescue, as she
Hilarious.
always does.
She's a great
I
friend.
just love Grace. So what did you guys think about that? Do you think that was right of Will to go and take the spotlight at Vince's wedding? Or do you feel like he had the right?
I think he was kind of apologizing for his actions and he felt bad. He felt guilty. He owed that much. You know, you're going to your ex's wedding. It's his day, you know. And I think what Grace did, taking the mic and kind of validating him, justifying him, and telling him not to feel bad was such a Grace thing to do. But that's just the bond between them.
Yes.
You know, so I was okay with Will's action.
What about
I guess.
poor Vince and Ryan, though?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
at some point,
I
you
have
know.
to add, my favorite part was when Vince told Ryan, he said, "Why am I working so hard? You have like 3 exes here."
Yes,
Like,
Yes.
I thought that was
Because he
hilarious.
says like
Yeah.
to Will, you know, I always think of you as the one that got away. I wanted to ask you guys, is there like, you know, in your life, we're all good, we're all
yeah.
settled, but is there someone that you can think of as an ex where you're like, that is the one that got away?
Yeah.
No.
You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I think no. I think maybe no. Actually, no.
Explain the term, because there's 2 definitions to it. Like, as in the one that got away that I wanted to be with, or he got away. Just break it down.
I think the one who got away can mean, I think it can
lot
be
of
both. It
different-
can mean
okay.
a lot of things. Like the one where you really love this person, you guys were good, but either you broke
just
up
didn't
with
work out.
It just didn't work out. Either he broke up with you broke up with him, but you guys didn't leave on horrible
Yeah.
terms. But you can, like when you start dating other people, you start thinking about this person.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, this person was actually a really cool person. It just didn't
Okay.
work out at that time.
Question
Okay.
though, have you
Yes.
ever had that happen and then you redate them and then go, oh, now I remember why?
Yes.
Yes,
It
yeah,
didn't work
yeah. You're
out.
like,
Yes. I'm a notorious redater.
Are you?
Oh,
am.
I am too.
Oh.
I mean,
You always gotta give it
it's
a
just-
second chance,
it's
boo.
second chance. I mean, you know, I believe in second chances, and I
True
just
colors,
feel like
though. First time, true colors.
But years, let's say years
Okay,
pass by.
okay,
We're
that's
talking about
different.
years.
years. I'm not talking
And then
about
all of
like
a
month.
sudden you see each other and you're like, you
Yeah.
get like hypnotized again, right?
You're like, wow,
oh,
this is
look
hot.
at you.
But
I
then you're
missed
like,
you.
this is why I
And then a
stopped
week later,
dating.
you're like, this is
No.
why I stopped talking to you.
Yes, I've had many of those.
Yes,
Many
I'm a
of
redater.
those.
We're,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah. What about, so same question as I asked
No,
her.
I'm not a redater.
No?
Maybe just one time I did, but I'm a true believer. If someone shows you their true colors at first, that's who they really are.
And
like
you don't
that.
think anybody's gotten away that you...
I think 50%. I can't say. I think
Is
like
there someone that you always think about when you're out on a date? Like, that person
Or you
kind of like...
compare
yeah.
them.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I can just say one.
Yeah. I think I
I
have,
have
a
I just
couple.
have one
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I will like compare. I'll compare.
This is a
I'm like-
Valentine's Day special episode.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day's coming. I do have one where like when I date other guys, I will compare in my mind, not to them because that's super rude.
Well, yeah.
But I'll compare and I'm like,
your
damn,
mind.
he did it this way or he did it that way or we did things a little bit
Comparison,
differently.
but is, it equals. There's a quote like that, right? If you compare, you're gonna live the worst life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It equals unhappiness. You should
Yeah.
never compare to anything.
Have you ever
know?
wished though, like I've been on, oh, that's so bad. This is like confessions. I've been on many dates where I'm like, oh, I missed that personality of this person
Yes.
and like how much we vibe. Oh, what an idiot. I can't believe it didn't work out.
Yes, all the time. She's like,
She's
nah.
reminiscing,
Yeah.
Louisa.
We mix and match different personalities
Yes.
to form one guy.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
that. And of course, like I didn't string that person along. Obviously, I knew I didn't want to
No.
be with that person, but I've had that moment where I'm on a date with someone or I am dating someone and I will compare them to the ex
Yeah.
that I think that got away and I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I miss this personality. I miss when we would
Yeah.
Never
laugh
compare,
and
though.
bug out.
Never
Not like compare, like I don't
no,
sit and
no,
nitpick
no,
and
no.
compare, but it's one of those
Yeah.
things where you meet someone, you're not really feeling them, but you're giving them a chance, but they're not doing the things that you were doing before that you were having fun doing. And to yourself, you're like, damn, I miss like when I would do X, Y, and Z with my ex,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, but how awful is it to go on that second date when you know you're not into them, but you have to sit through and it's like,
so bad.
It's tough.
It's
I'm sorry,
really
that just
bad.
happened to me recently.
Really?
No,
Do
I don't
tell.
know.
Yes, yes,
I
let's-
want
come
to.
on,
I'm not
we've
gonna
got
do
time.
that. No, because I don't want to
Yeah, I got you.
But I think we've all been there where it's like, you're a great guy, but no, you thought sparks will fly, but it didn't.
right.
Yes.
You wanted to
Like,
give it a second chance.
yeah,
Yes.
and what are you gonna say to him? Or
know.
like through text, It's
can't.
like
Okay, that's a great question. How do you break? Me and my roommate's a male.
Yes.
We always talk about this. How do you break it off with somebody when you don't want to continue? I always feel like for me as a woman, you can't just be like, oh, I don't like you, or, you just like kind of fade away. You have to say, I kind of started talking to somebody else and we're really connecting. I feel like if you use any of the other ones, they get really upset. Or let's say before you even go on a date with them, right? They're asking you for your number and you don't want to like turn them down and be like, oh, I'm not interested. I
Right.
just say I have a boyfriend.
Men don't care when you say you have a boyfriend.
Yeah, they don't
you
care.
get their
give
number,
them-
you never
Yeah.
text them.
I just get the
rule.
number
You
and
get
I
the
don't
number,
answer.
You never
You get the
text. That's a
number?
rule.
Oh,
Yeah.
Say, oh my
that's
God, yeah, give me your
smart.
number. You never text.
Same. I get the number when they call. I never answer.
No, but
Yeah.
guys sometimes will like be like, no, let me see your phone. Like, show me the number. Text me
And
right
that's
now.
when I'll
I mean,
walk
I've had
away.
really
No, that's
aggressive.
too forward.
Yeah.
But to answer your first question, it takes years of experience and confidence to truly tell a man you're not into them without making an excuse and saying you have a boyfriend.
I've done that. I've been retaliated by men.
Oh, wow.
That's
Because
why I asked.
Men are crazy. I've had a
Yeah.
moment. I'm super blunt and I'm super forward, and
too.
that's a gift and a curse sometimes.
Yes.
Because sometimes we can hurt your feelings, and sometimes it's keeping it real. I believe in just ripping the Band-Aid off and keeping it real. It will hurt your feelings, but it's something that you can look back and learn on. I was dating a guy. I really wasn't into him as much, but I wanted to try it because it was something different. And every date we went on, it just wouldn't work. We went on like 5 or 6 dates, and I kept giving it a try. And he was really cool dude, but I had to keep it real with him. I was like, look, I like you. You're really a nice person, but I can't continue this because you're not doing X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
You're not, when we go out, you don't talk. You're too quiet.
What?
It was a lot of things.
wow,
And I was
you
like,
laid it
fail.
out.
I had to keep it real because now he can look back on that and be like, maybe there's something I can
Learn
change
from it.
going forward when I'm
See, I
dating
would
the next
appreciate
female.
that if someone said
I
it to
appreciate
me.
it. It's gonna hurt my feelings for
Honesty.
5 minutes, but because I've been told things about myself where I now appreciate it because everything's a learning and
Yes.
growing experience.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. So going back to Will and Grace, we could go on forever about dating. Vince freaks out at the end, right? He freaks out at the end, and he thinks that he's making
a
a
mistake.
bad mistake. But of course, Will holds him, and he basically tells him, no, this is what you deserve. You know, you made it the 9 months with him. It means something.
Yes.
You know, I thought that was really big of Will, you know, because he could have easily said, come into my arms, I'll take you and you take me. But he doesn't do that. He's very selfless about it, and he really means it in a really genuine way. What did you guys think about that?
That was, like you said, it was really big of Will.
Yes.
That's when you know you have to grow up and take that step and be like, you know what? Because in that moment, Will had to say, if I do sabotage this and we get back together, are we going to be long term and we're just going to hook up, or what is it? So I thought it was really dope of Will to be like, you know what? You deserve to be happy. And that's why, because remember when Vince was telling Will about himself, though it was mean at the moment, but I think when he told Will, like, you didn't like me, you were a nitpicker, Will had to sit and think about that. Like how I just said that I told that guy that, it's a learning experience. So I think Will had to really sit and think about them and was like, you know what? Let me chill out. So I think that was really sweet when he told him in the bathroom, like, no, you know what? You deserve to be with him. You committed for 9 months. You need to do this. And I thought it was really great.
That's exactly why you don't bring an ex to the wedding.
Or anywhere.
You don't even want to have that opportunity to, you know, doubt yourself during your wedding in the bathroom. You know,
Yes.
so don't invite your ex to your
Yes.
wedding, and that won't happen. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings. There's alcohol involved. Maybe the sex was better. You know,
Yes.
and then yeah. But
Wedding jitters.
Yeah, but it was big of him.
But I felt like they got closure, right? The both of them got
Yes.
closure.
Yeah.
Have either one of you ever
I'm a
received
closure queen.
Yeah.
I
from
need-
an
yeah.
ex?
Oh,
I needs the closure. I'm a closure queen. I'm like, I
so
need
good.
closure.
Yes.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and if I don't get it, I'm like, we need closure because it's
Yes.
like you're free. You're releasing yourself, and now I'm free to move on to the next relationship.
With women, it's so important. Even when we take the first step, there's been times where I just want to know, so even I'll reach out with a text just so I know. And if they give me that fishy, weird answer, you're like, okay, fine, that's all I want to know. Check, bye, on to the next. So
Yeah.
I can be more reassured for my
Yes.
next guy.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Everything's a learning and growing experience.
It's a
I think
beautiful thing.
closure is a beautiful thing. You
It
know,
is.
you just kind of are like, okay, well, I know where that went and where I'm going next. And now I have the opportunity to, new possibilities, right?
Oh,
That's what
Exactly.
life's
Learning
about, right?
experience.
Team Will.
Team
I'm
Team
proud of Will
Will.
today.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
I hope they both start dating. I feel like all these episodes till now, they've been great, but it's so much of Will and Grace. I kind of want to see them
Yeah.
explore their personal lives a
Yes.
bit more. I know Jack is all the time.
I think
Right.
it's leading up to a
It
wedding.
is.
I think it's leading up to somebody in a
Somebody.
relationship or a wedding. I think that's why this is everything has
Really?
been. I don't know
Who's
why.
wedding? No one's dating anyone.
Or like dating or like
Dating.
Dating.
Okay,
Dating.
well, you never know because
Right.
sometimes people meet each other and they get married right away. Something's gonna happen.
And to
You
Tim's
watch.
point, because he was saying last week that they're bringing on all the guests. I was happy that Vince came back, but it is one of
Yes.
those things where it's like now they're throwing all the
Yes.
guests who from the past and they're
Yes.
bringing them all back.
They
so
are.
it's interesting to see who the next guests are going to be from the past.
Well, like Tim said, maybe J Lo.
Yeah, I saw J-Lo
I'm here
on
for a
Twitter.
Janet.
Or Janet.
Oh, Janet
or
would be
Cher.
amazing.
Yes. I just want to say I love Bobby, the one who plays Vince. He was on
he's
Boardwalk
gorgeous.
Empire. He's gorgeous. He's
Oh my
Italian.
God,
He's
he
tall.
is.
He's
Yeah,
like-
what's his name? I have his name
Bobby
here.
He is
Cannavale.
goals.
Cannavale. We might be messing up, but yeah. Bobby Cannavale. He's
If
so
you have
hot.
not seen Boardwalk Empire, he plays the best villain on Boardwalk
So
Empire. Best show
many
ever.
shows to watch. It's ridiculous.
many. Yes.
Like I have so many. That's on my list.
Well, ladies, I just want to ask you, what is your favorite quote? Mine right now, I would say is, I guess Grace saying you've been plucking your eyebrows to Will, right? And she says you look like an extra on Orange is the New Black.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I thought that was hilarious.
Those two were great, and I think mine is still the one that I mentioned before. The why am I working so hard? You have like 3 X's here.
Yes.
My favorite quote you mentioned earlier: a date with straight people leads to sex. A date with gay people leads. Sex with a gay man leads to a date.
Yes,
exactly.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a rule.
Well, I guess we're going to just close out now. Thank you guys for watching AfterBuzz TV with Will and Grace. You can find us on iTunes, Instagram, YouTube. My name is Cristal McLaughlin. You can find me at all social media at Cristal823. And I'll go ahead and pass it on to my lovely co-host,
Thanks
Louiza.
for tuning in. My name is Louiza Sharamatyan. You can find me on Instagram at Nobody Reads Anymore TV and on Twitter at Nobody Reads TV.
Guys, I'm Nakia Money, the notorious redater. You can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom, all across the board, same name.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.